What's up, guys? It's Brendan from Market Makers. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Kicking off the Bitcoin TA with the DXY, guys. The DXY, as you know, is super important. It's a US dollar measured against a basket of currencies. I track this every Pro Trades video, so you can look for that later, and I'll go into it some more in that video as well. But let's talk about this because it does move inversely to Bitcoin, okay? And this is doing exactly what I said it would do in my Pro Trades video, which is come down. It hit a new yearly high. It's made multiple new yearly highs in the last week. You come down, hit the median line in the pitchfork, guys, bounce back up, and sure enough, hit the GAN resistance, and now it's at the zero point 0.5 retracement line. So two options here. It can come back down. If it doesn't bounce off this fib, it can come back down, and then you have a double top. Okay, this would be a more bullish situation for Bitcoin. If it broke that double top and came down to this next quadrant, that would be very helpful to Bitcoin, okay? Most likely what this will do, though, is possibly just hover around the 0.5 line and may even move back up. The DXY has been super bullish because of all the inflation news, the Fed tapering, all types of things. The stock market, the Dow's off 3%. People are sitting on cash positions right now. A lot of big hedge funds are in cash positions, heavy, waiting for dips to buy. Big corrections potentially coming in those marketplaces. So guys, this is a DXY, so we keep very close attention to it, okay? Let's go ahead to the weekly. So I had a lot of requests in the room and on YouTube, people saying, hey, where are those big weekly patterns you used to show us that had the bottom line price of Bitcoin? Because Crypto Savvy, some of these other Elliott Wave guys, Castaway Trader, they're showing bottoms for Bitcoin, okay? Now keep in mind, guys, H.M. Gartley came out with the Gartley pattern in 1932. It is one impulse wave with an ABC correction. Does that sound familiar? It will to the Elliott Wave fans, okay? So Ralph Nelson Elliott came out 3 years later with the Elliott Wave theory. He took a Gartley pattern and added 4 waves to the front of it. So it's a 5-wave pattern with an ABC correction. They're both based off Fibonacci, okay? Gartley invented this. Ralph Nelson Elliott modified it and made it his own theory. So this is where we're at with it. That's why a lot of times our numbers can line up, okay? So this is a big, giant weekly Navarro pattern starting back here at 38.9 Bitcoin, okay? 3,893 Bitcoin. All the way up, we are tracking to this 100%. For people who haven't seen these patterns before, price moves in this direction of point A to B to C, and then down to D, where the trend exhausts and then starts to move back up. This is a bullish pattern, okay? So this is a Navarro pattern, and from 10,871, this is where we would get to potentially if we keep tracking to this pattern. I overlaid a pitchfork. You can see how deadly accurate this pitchfork has been. Your 0.5 retracement being used as resistance, your median line in the pitchfork being used both as resistance and support. Here's resistance and here's support. Here's resistance and support, and again over here, okay? And so you can see how beautifully this is tracking. Now, the timeline on this, people say, well, when would this happen? The way I drew this is May 2022, okay? But keep in mind, you can move this pattern to the left and right, keep the fib ratios the same. So it depends on these candles. You get some big candles like this weekly candle right here. I mean, this could drop a lot faster, right? You'd be tucking this pattern in. Or you just keep range trading in this quadrant, down in this quadrant, back and forth. You'd be moving this pattern out, okay? It's all about price movement, candle movement, price action. But as of right now, we are tracking 100% to this pattern. And again, we had that high at 69,127, depending on your exchange. This is BitGet, where I trade, and then you drop down to 10,871 at the end, okay? And then from there, the next bull run, if you're going to talk about predictions, because people keep asking me about predictions, let's go ahead and do one real quick, okay? If we end up tracking to this pattern, this is an if because we have a lot of price action to go. If we ended up tracking to this pattern, guys, where could we possibly go to next bull run? Well, the 1272 is 84,846. The 1618 is 104,841 Bitcoin, okay? 104,841 Bitcoin. Kind of crazy. Which is why this is a fantastic investment when you do buy it in the bear market, okay? Because if it does come down to 10,871, that's a 10x. You're looking at a 10x. Just only if you bought Bitcoin. Obviously, the altcoins can fly up many more percentages over, but that's only if you bought Bitcoin, getting a 10x on your money. So that's part of my master plan is when we do eventually come to a rest, be buying a lot of cheap Bitcoin, my friends, a lot of cheap Bitcoin. Let's go to the daily. Guys, I gave you this pattern, my favorite pattern, the day that it formed. The guys in our room knew about this. We've been posting it. We traded it on the 4-hour time frame. This is the daily black swan. We trade it in the 4-hour time frame as a crab. And some of the guys are still in this trade, which is absolutely crazy, including one of the guys from our admin team. A lot of us got out on this rebound, but some of the guys are still in this trade. And right now, this is a 20% market move in one pattern in one trade. 20%. The guy on our admin team, Ricardo, he's up some crazy amount of percent, 600, 700% on his trade. Absolutely mental. But this is what you do, guys. You trade Fibonacci patterns. So a lot of people I know on YouTube, they're confused by the price action. They don't know what's happening. They're looking at different indicators and different things. What we know is you have a trade here, and this trade has made a lot of people money, and this is on a daily time frame. And of course, we zoom in and we make more trades on the smaller time frames. Something to pay attention to again is these two areas. This box, 54, 384, my friends. 0.5 fib retracement line going through it. 0.5 on the fib. This is an area where I'd still like to see price come down to, bounce off of it, okay? Come off this quadrant and then start moving potentially back up, make a decision, or start going back down. Keep in mind your 200, this blue line here, this is your 200 moving average, 6.5 months of trading range is right there at, what is that number? I just wrote over it, 45,926. If you lose this on a daily, right now you're below it on the 1 hour, you're below it on the 4 hour. If you lose this on the daily, you're starting to descend and you're heading hardcore towards a bear market if you do that, okay? You could always come back and pump back out of it again, but with the macro market conditions as they are, with the strong dollar, with the Dow slipping, all the markets are intertwined. As much as people don't want to hear it, they are. It's the same whales, the same institutions, the same hedge funds investing in all these markets. If they're pulling money out of these other markets, and they will be pulling money out of crypto. So these are metrics, these are key indicators you need to watch, okay? Because they're just key indicators that can show which direction trend is going, and staying above the 200 in the daily at 45,926 is vitally important. So right now we're doing okay. We recovered some. We had a nice retracement down to 55.6, and we've recovered some, okay? I told you at 58.9 would be our ceiling. It was for several days, and now we're in that next little quadrant between 58.9 and 60,100. Let's go ahead to the 4-hour time frame. Well, here's a zoom in of this candle action, and here's that fib, my fib circle, how deadly accurate it was, okay? We hit it, reject it, hit it, reject it. Had to consolidate, hit it, reject it, and then we pump through it. This is where we are now. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we traded this nice bullish pattern in our room. It's a butterfly activated down here, and you are looking at a nice 8% move in the market off this trade, okay? Again, with any amount of leverage, 10x leverage, 80% on your money. You're not going to get that at a bank. 80% on your money in one trade, okay? And we had this identified in the room and we traded it in the room. So this is a nice little trade. Lots of little patterns being printed here, by the way. I mean, you can see some of these smaller patterns here that are being printed. We have, to my ABCD pattern on here, we have a little, probably a Gartley pattern that formed a little bearish pattern. So we have a little Gartley pattern form here. We've had some different little patterns form as well. Probably a little dragon, I think, as well was in here. If we grab it from here, go here. I don't think my magnet's on, so it'll be pretty close. Yeah, a dragon pattern as well. So we've had some different little bearish patterns. As you can see, these are smaller patterns, not a lot of price movement. They did drop the market a little bit. But really where you're at on this is you're at the median line on the pitchfork. You see that? So you're hitting your head on it, and then when you get above it, you're able to use it as support. This is ascending, so if you can stay above it, it would be nice. We'll see how that works out, though, because Bitcoin price action, as you can see, has been very, very wobbly, very shaky. Let's look at a couple indicators, though, while we're here, get an idea of where everything's at. Let's throw on a modified Ichi here. So we did get above our volume-weighted moving averages, which is good, but you have this really thick, billowy resistance cloud that you're about to run smack into. So this is a price decision time right here, okay? You can see when price comes up here, potentially be making a decision, is going to be ascending into the cloud, or is it going to start dropping below the heart line and dropping below the cloud? So we'll have to see. Ichi says, if you look at where the cloud's being drawn, drawing it right on the heart line, okay? Or right on the Gann resistance level, I'm sorry, it's drawing it right on the Gann resistance level with the cloud sloping down. Directions of clouds matter in cloud trading for Ichi because it shows where the max amount of resistance is. 1 hour time frame. So 1 hour time frame, here's our previous fib circle. You can see it was encapsulating a market top for us all along the circle, right? You can see where we dropped through it, held us in check, held us in check, held us in check all through here. So let's go ahead and throw a new circle on and see where we might be. So let's take a significant low to our current range high here. And let's see how accurate this is so far. I mean, you look at your consolidation inside the fib, look at your hit points on the fib. You can see hit the fib here, use it as support, then you drop through it, right? Then you got back into here, hit the fib, then you're able to pump through it. So you got to see the fib use as support and resistance all through the range here. Here's your ceiling, hit, drop, hit, drop. Same here, use as support, then use as resistance, and you fell. So this looks pretty accurate to me, right? So we're looking at this, when could we impact this fib? This is an hourly time frame. You're looking at November 22nd, somewhere along this fib. November 22nd, possibly the 21st if you get some type of pump. So tomorrow maybe we'll see some type of pivot point because the fib is used as a pivot point. Not all of them are dramatic, as you can see here. It's just used as a support. Once it pumped through it, it's just being able to hold as support. But other times, as you can see, price can really take off or price can really drop. So it's a potential pivot point for price. So we'll have to watch this tomorrow as we approach it, okay? Something that we'll be paying attention to in the room. So guys, this is a point where I want to tell you, if you like these types of patterns, if you want to learn how to trade, if you want trade signals, education, a fantastic community, check out the links in the video description to our Discord. It is a great place to be. You guys can come try it out. And if you like trading and if you want a secure, safe platform, BITGET has more security certificates than anybody else in the industry. It's where I trade. It's where a lot of our members trade. It's a fantastic platform, guys. You should come check it out. $630 in our link. If you want to unlock the bonus, you can use our link to do so. Check that out as well. So, guys, let's look at Ichi in the 1 hour time frame. See where we're at with price. So we were able to pump up above the cloud here. We're up above the moving average. This is actually really bullish for the 1 hour. Again, we got to see what happens when we impact this fib circle, and you have GAN resistance right here at 60,100. And then you have the US dollar coming back online shortly on the DXY. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, the two possibilities obviously are you get above this and you hit your head on the 60,100. You need to get above this, right? You basically want to be up in this quadrant for the next move up. Because what else could happen is you just move sideways, you hit this, and you drop, and you're back down at 58.9, and you don't want to drop through the cloud and be underneath it, because then at that point you're just bearish again, right? And then you have further retracement that's possible and put you back down in that quadrant. So just some things to watch, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this update. Smash the like button. Really appreciate it. Come check out the room. Love to have you. Love to meet you. Guys, have a fantastic Sunday with your family. Happy trading. Talk to you tomorrow, my friends.